Welcome back to Equities.com. We're at the Vancouver Resource Investment Conference. My name is Galen Engen, and I'm sitting here talking with Zachary Stadnyk, who is Investor Relations and Corporate Finance for Supreme Pharmaceuticals.
Well, thanks for having me, Galen. I appreciate it.
It's good to have you here, my friend. So, medical marijuana. That's the catchword of the century here. I mean,
Yes.
this is everyone's loving it. They're all over it. But in all reality, the rubber has hit the road. There's no longer the promise stage. We're no longer in the honeymoon phase where a junior miner who's not making a buck is going to, say that we're exploring opportunities, and all of a sudden the share price goes up 240%. Where business means business, and Supreme Pharmaceuticals is one of those entities that's managed to make it past the gate. So can you tell us now what your feeling is on how Supreme Pharmaceuticals fits within the medical marijuana industry at its present state?
Absolutely. So Supreme Pharmaceuticals is at the very final stages of obtaining its initial license to grow. So what we kind of did is over the past 2 years, we got through the paperwork application. We received our pre-billed letter in January of 2014, received all the necessary security requirements, which are a very intensive thing in the MMPR process of actually obtaining the license. And what we've done is we've raised a bunch of capital throughout 2014, and between June and December, we actually fully retrofitted our facility, putting about $5 million into it to get it up to the standards of Health Canada. And moving forward, basically what we are is likely to be in the next round of 20 to 25 licensed to grow companies, licensed producers I should say, to move forward into 2015. Absolutely.
That's amazing. Now, speaking of amazing, let's talk about your greenhouse facility. We briefly touched on it, as you just said, retrofitting and such.
Absolutely.
This is 342,000 square feet. You're growing a forest.
Absolutely, and there will be a forest of medical marijuana in there at one point. Our pre-license is actually pre-licensed to produce up to 24,000 kilograms per year, which as far as I'm concerned is the largest pre-license issued to date. So what we did is when we looked into facilities is we really believe that we're in a commercial agriculture space, and for that reason we looked at a massive greenhouse facility. It's about 342,000 square feet, so we're talking a big facility. And basically what we've done is we've retrofitted it fully to actually include a lot of the techniques from an indoor grow facility. So what we've done is we've put artificial lighting in there as well, so we hedge ourselves against the seasonality variations. So for example, I get the question a lot, how are you guys going to grow in December and January and February? And in that response, I always say, well, actually we're able to grow full year round because we have the artificial lighting, and in that way we get the best of both worlds in the sense that we get the standardization and we get the control of an indoor greenhouse facility, but we also get the efficiency and the added benefits of natural sunlight used to grow medical products.
Wow, that's amazing. Now, on top of the fact that you're going to grow more marijuana than anyone's ever seen before.
Hopefully.
What is your pricing strategy? I mean, is this going to cost a bunch, or are you going to, what's happening?
For us, because we have such a large facility, we can actually employ economies of scale to a very favorable rate. And what we're going to do is actually be passing that down to our patients. So our pricing strategy is actually to come out the door with an average price of about $5 per gram. And generally what you're seeing in the marketplace right now is about $8 to $10 per gram. So it's considerably less than both the black market and the other legal producers that are currently out there, and I think that we're going to be able to gain a lot of market share in terms of gaining patients very quickly. And we plan to provide a high quality product as well, and we'll actually be going all the way down to the lower end of selling trim and shake products for touching around the $1 range. So you can definitely get the medical benefits, the THC and the CBD, but we'll also be selling an $8 product as well, and people that can afford that will be able to get what they want. But for the time being, we think that that's the pricing strategy to come out with because nobody's currently doing it, and this isn't a very price-sensitive industry. You've got a lot of patients out there that are on a very fixed to low income. There currently isn't any insurance policies out there to help subsidize the medicine for them, and we think that also by coming out with a pricing strategy like this, in terms of the current injunction that's going to be revisited back, it'll be February of this year now, which is really at its crux a argument of affordability. This gives Health Canada a bit of a leg to stand on, saying, well, in the transition to this new MMPR system, there actually is a low price, high quality producer out there, Supreme, and in that way we're going to be able to service the market, and I think it's going to be a good strategy moving forward.
Sounds great. Now, a lot of the companies, and of course it's the point of doing business, you're out to make a buck. You've got to do it.
Yep.
But there is a certain commitment, from what I understand, with pharmaceutical towards the patient community. Are any programs that you guys are developing in regards to that, or
absolutely.
initiatives?
So one of our programs is called Can Assist, which is going to be providing a discount to people that can prove their financial situation. We're also going to be, we're starting up conversations with certain insurance companies, because at the end of the day, an insurance company is a business, and if they're going to insure a product, they're going to want to insure the lowest cost product, and I believe that we're going to be able to provide that. So that's something that we want to push for going forward.
That sounds great. Now, in regards to where you guys sit with the licensing process, you have, just recently communicated with the government? How close are we to getting to an inspection?
We don't have an official date set yet, but we're hopeful it'll come in the coming weeks. So what we've done is we completed the facility build-out in December. We issued Health Canada written notice that we are ready for the inspection, and hopefully we'll hear back fairly soon, and then what will happen is they'll come in, they'll do the inspection, and I have every reason to believe that it will be successful. You know, we've spared no expense at building out this facility and crossed every T and dotted every I in that regard. And what will happen is they'll give you your initial license to grow, under which circumstance we'll go through 2 grow cycles, and they'll audit all of our systems, make sure that the product is up to the standard that they require, and then at that point they'll issue a license to sell, and then we'll begin generating revenue, which is a very exciting thing for the company, and with a little bit of blue sky and all the right pieces falling into place, could happen by Q2 of 2015.
Wow, you guys are on the roll to be a giant in the industry.
We're certainly taking that approach, and we're putting the patients first, and definitely hoping that that's going to transition into profits for our shareholders, because that's our commitment, is to the patients and the shareholders.
Perfect. I'm looking forward to it, my friend.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you very much, Zachary, for coming out and joining us. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate
Anytime.
it.
Take care.